Hello, my diet tribe. Welcome to another video session of Let's Talk Diabetes with Nkiruka. So today we're going to be talking about managing diabetes with our African foods. So most people find this a difficult thing to do because they feel, oh, we can't effectively attain good blood sugar control with our African foods. But the whole point is to eat it in moderation, because managing diabetes with our African foods, it involves you incorporating different traditional nutrient rich and low glycemic ingredients, and this help, if eaten in moderation, to help control our blood sugar levels. So many of our African cuisines actually include naturally diabetes friendly options. So below are some guidelines that I have used to help me attain good glycemic control with our African dishes. So firstly, I always focus on whole fiber carbohydrates. So this actually helps slow down the release of glucose into the blood. So I eat quite a lot of African foods like millet, brown rice, sorghum, quinoa, unripe plantain. So sometimes I use the unripe plantain to make what we call fufu. So this I used to eat our Nigerian or African based soups, and the sorghum as well could be used to make the fufu. When you blend it with the husk, it has more fiber content. But the thing you need to be very mindful of is the portion size, like I initially talked about. So the second guideline is including non-starchy vegetables. So I always ask people, it's better to eat the vegetables that are green. So spinach, kale, ugu, okra, garden eggs, uziza leaves, utazi, moringa. All these non-starchy vegetables help increase the fiber content of your meals. And choosing low glycemic carbohydrates such as sweet potatoes, brown rice, cocoyam, lentils, cowpeas, okra, garden eggs, and unripe plantain actually helps quite a lot. And you should also have at the back of your mind that in as much as all these our African meals are nutrient rich and help in blood sugar controls, we need to take into account that they must all be eaten in moderation. So my fourth guideline is I always tend to incorporate my legumes and pulses with vegetables. So vegetable is always a side dish with every single thing that I'm eating. And my fifth guideline is opting for healthy protein sources. So I do a lot of grilling with fish, chicken, beef, and if I'm using like protein sources like ground nuts or egusi, I tend to eat them in moderation because of the fat content in them, which could also impact on blood sugar levels. So when I cook, I use healthy oils and fat. So if I'm using the palm oil, I use very little quantity of the palm oil, and then I use quite a lot of olive oil, rapeseed oil, sunflower oil, canola oil, and when I want to snack on something, which I rarely do, but if I feel peckish or snackish, I just eat small portions of almonds or cashew nuts. And when I eat my fruits, I eat my fruits whole. So I don't do any juicing, I don't do any smoothies, because when you do that, the rate of absorption of fructose into your bloodstream is faster, and that actually increases the glycemic index and your blood sugar as well. So I don't do that at all. Preferably, you eat all your fruits whole and be mindful of the portion. Saying eating all your fruit whole doesn't mean that you get one big pineapple and sit down and finish it off, or you get a big watermelon, sit down and finish it up. No, everything must be eaten in moderation. So you have your fruits and vegetables. If you're going to have a banana, just one banana per day. If you're going to have an orange, just one orange per day. If you're going to have an apple, just one apple a day. Because if you combine all these fruits together, you can actually match it to your insulin dose. So sometimes a combination of all these fruits results in you needing to match it up with some insulin, and cutting down on salt and incorporating more of herbs and spices is quite important. So for me, I don't take in too much salt. My husband's hypertensive, I'm also hypertensive, so we cut down on salt and do a lot of herbs, and we use ginger, garlic, cinnamon, turmeric, and parsley. So a lot of fresh herbs, oregano, and basil. So we use this to increase the or rather make the meals more tasty. So on an end note, always practice moderation. Even with our healthy African foods, you need to practice moderation and try to avoid overeating starchy foods, because most of our African foods are quite starchy. So cutting down, eating in moderation is also important. And for me, I always check my blood sugar levels regularly to understand how each of these our specific African foods affects my blood sugar. So if you want to know how the African foods affect you, I suggest you get a diary and a pen. So for me, I have done that for so many years, so I can tell you off the top of my head that such and such food, after eating and matching it to an insulin dose, I know what my blood sugars are going to look like 2 to 3 hours post meal. So this takes quite some time and patience. So you need to really understand how all these meals affect you, because there's no one size fits all in terms of diabetes diet for every person living with diabetes. So we have to take into account individual differences. So remember, you like, subscribe, and always hit that notification bell for more interesting videos on Let's Talk Diabetes with Nkirika. Bye.